The Pathfinder, Chapter 24. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This recording is by Mark Smith of Simpsonville, South Carolina. The Pathfinder, by James Fenimore Cooper, Chapter 24. Then drink my tears while yet they fall. Would that my bosom's blood were balm, and, well thou knowest, I'd shed it all to give thy brow 1 minute's calm. Attributed to Moore. The eyes of Sergeant Dunham had not ceased to follow the form of his beautiful daughter from the moment that the light appeared. He next examined the door of the block, to ascertain its security, for he was left on the ground below, there being no available means of raising him to the upper floor. Then he sought the face of Mabel, for as life wanes fast the affections resume their force, and we begin to value that most which we feel we are about to lose for ever.
God be praised, my child. You, at least, have escaped their murderous rifles, he said, for he spoke with strength, and seemingly with no additional pain. Give me the history of this sad business, Pathfinder.
Ah's me, Sergeant! It has been sad, as you say. That there has been treachery, and the position of the island has been betrayed, is now as sartain in my judgment as that we still hold the block. But
Major Duncan was right,
interrupted Dunham, laying a hand on the other's arm. Not in the sense you mean, Sergeant. No, not in that point of view, never. At least not in my opinion. I know that nature is weak. Human nature, I mean, and that we should none of us vaunt of our gifts, whether red or white, but I do not think a truer hearted lad lives on the lines than Jasper Western. Bless you for that, Pathfinder, burst forth from Mabel's very soul, while a flood of tears gave vent to emotions that were so varied while they were so violent. Oh, bless you, Pathfinder, bless you! The brave should never desert the brave. The honest should sustain the honest. The father's eyes were fastened anxiously on the face of his daughter, until the latter hid her countenance in her apron to conceal her tears, and then they turned with inquiry to the hard features of the guide. The latter merely wore their usual expression of frankness, sincerity, and uprightness, and the sergeant motioned to him to proceed. You know the spot where the Sarpent and I left you, Sergeant, Pathfinder resumed, and I need say nothing of all that happened afore. It is now too late to regret what is gone and past, but I do think if I had stayed with the boats this would not have come to pass. Other men may be as good guides, I make no doubt they are, but then nature bestows its gifts, and some must be better than others some. I dare say poor Gilbert, who took my place, has suffered for his mistake.
He fell at my elbow,
the sergeant answered in a low, melancholy tone.
We have, indeed, all suffered for our mistakes.
No, Sergeant. I meant no condemnation on you, for men were never better commanded than yourn, in this very expedition. I never beheld a prettier flanking, and the way in which you carried your own boat up agin their howitzer might have teached Lundy himself a lesson. The eyes of the sergeant brightened, and his face even wore an expression of military triumph, though it was of a degree that suited the humble sphere in which he had been an actor.
"'Twas not badly done, my friend," said he, "and we carried their log breastwork by storm."
"'Twas nobly done, Sergeant, though, I fear, when all the truth comes to be known, it will be found that these vagabonds have got their howitzer back again. Well, put a stout heart upon it, and try to forget all that is disagreeable, and to remember only the pleasant part of the matter. That is your truest philosophy, ay, and truest religion too. If the enemy has got the howitzer again, they've only got what belonged to them afore, and what we couldn't help. They haven't got the blockhouse yet, nor are they likely to get it, unless they fire it in the dark. Well, Sergeant,
The Sarpent and I separated about 10 miles down the river, for we thought it wisest not to come upon even a friendly camp without the usual caution. What has become of Chingachgook I cannot say, though Mabel tells me he is not far off, and I make no question the noble-hearted Delaware is doing his duty, although he is not now visible to our eyes. Mark my words, Sergeant, before this matter is over we shall hear of him at some critical time, and that in a discreet and creditable manner. Ah, the Sarpent is indeed a wise and virtuous chief, and any white man might covet his gifts, though his rifle is not quite as sure as Killdeer, it must be owned. Well, as I came near the island I missed the smoke, and that put me on my guard, for I knew that the men of the 55th were not cunning enough to conceal that sign, notwithstanding all that has been told them of its danger. This made me more careful, until I came in sight of this mock fisherman, as I've just told Mabel, and then the whole of their infernal arts was as plain before me as if I saw it on a map. I need not tell you, Sergeant, that my first thoughts were of Mabel, and that, finding she was in the block, I came here, in order to live or die in her company." The father turned a gratified look upon his child, and Mabel felt a sinking of the heart that at such a moment she could not have thought possible, when she wished to believe all her concern centered in the situation of her parent. As the latter held out his hand, she took it in her own and kissed it. Then, kneeling at his side, she wept as if her heart would break. "Mabel," said he steadily, "the will of God must be done. It is useless to attempt deceiving either you or myself. My time has come, and it is a consolation to me to die like a soldier. Lundy will do me justice, for our good friend Pathfinder will tell him what has been done, and how all came to pass. You do not forget our last conversation?" "Nay, father, my time has probably come too," exclaimed Mabel, who felt just then as if it would be a relief to die. "I cannot hope to escape, and Pathfinder would do well to leave us and return to the garrison with the sad news while he can." "Mabel Dunham," said Pathfinder reproachfully, though he took her hand with kindness, "I have not deserved this. I know I am wild and uncouth and ungainly." "Pathfinder!" Well, we'll forget it. You did not mean it, you could not think it. It is useless now to talk of escaping, for the Sergeant cannot be moved, and the blockhouse must be defended, cost what it will. Maybe Lundy will get the tidings of our disaster, and send a party to raise the siege." "Pathfinder, Mabel," said the Sergeant, who had been writhing with pain until the cold sweat stood on his forehead, "come both to my side. You understand each other, I hope?" "Father, say nothing of that. It is all as you wish." "Thank God. Give me your hand, Mabel. Here, Pathfinder, take it. I can do no more than give you the girl in this way. I know you will make her a kind husband. Do not wait on account of my death, but there will be a chaplain in the fort before the season closes, and let him marry you at once. My brother, if living, will wish to go back to his vessel, and then the child will have no protector. Mabel, your husband will have been my friend, and that will be some consolation to you, I hope." "Trust this matter to me, Sergeant," put in Pathfinder. "Leave it all in my hands as your dying request, and depend on it, all will go as it should." I do put all my confidence in you, my trusty friend, and empower you to act as I could act myself in every particular. Mabel, child, hand me the water. You will never repent this night. Bless you, my daughter. God bless, and have you in his holy keeping." This tenderness was inexpressibly touching to one of Mabel's feelings, and she felt at that moment as if her future union with Pathfinder had received a solemnization that no ceremony of the Church could render more holy.